Captain Jack here. Today we're looking at some of the best Super Nintendo ROM hacks I could find. Getting these to work is pretty easy, but if you need help, a guide and a very popular ROM patcher are linked in the description. Probably one of the most famous Super Nintendo hacks is Mario Kart R. This gives a makeover to the Mario Kart game that started it all off. All the track themes have been swapped to something new. Choco Island has been turned into a swamp, and the very, very similar Mario Circuit and Donut Plains tracks have been turned into cool night highways and dusty deserts, respectively. The best by far, though, has to be the Ghost Valley conversion into this heavenly, cloudy-looking place. A complete 180. But of course, the biggest, most noticeable change here is that Kirby now replaces Toad in the roster. But this ROM hack is so much more than just the cosmetic swaps. Each track is also modified in some way. Most of the time, it's shortcuts being added into parts of the track that simply had empty space before. All in all, Mario Kart R is a classic Super Nintendo ROM hack, and if you haven't heard of it before, chances are this whole list will be new to you. The Star Fox Exploration Showcase is by far the newest hack on this list, being a little bit less than a year old. It's also one of the only hacks for this game. Beyond a few minor bug fix projects, there really isn't anything like this out there. It's a huge sandbox of new and tweaked features. Everything from exciting but nearly useless new camera options, and an explorer mode that actually lets you fly backwards through the level. You know, the 5 polygons in the level? You can now look at that in closer detail. And even multiplayer, and don't worry if you don't have any friends, you definitely shouldn't fix that. There's an option where the game can control the second player for you. But by far the most exciting additions are the new ships and weapon options. There's about 30 new ships and weapons each, and you can combine them in ways that would probably break some type of international law. Want to play a red cube that shoots eggs? You can do that now. No one's gonna look at you the same way again, but you can do that. My favorite ships here are probably the Wolfen, for obvious reasons, and the JPEG of Andros, for even more obvious reasons. I mean, come on. There's even a new route you can take that serves as kind of a boss rush mode, as well as a new Game Plus feature, which is basically a hard mode. There's a lot to play around with here, and I can't imagine how difficult it was to make a ROM hack of Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. This game can barely run out of the box, and now you can play as a whale shooting rocks. Didn't realize that rhymed when I wrote it down. The Legend of Zelda Parallel Worlds is a massive overhaul of Link to the Past with new dungeons, a whole new world, even some new music here and there. The story here is that the evil King Dragor is after the Parallel Tower, which contains the Triforce, so it's a little bit different than the original game. Now, this isn't some small concept hack, no. Parallel Worlds is comparable in size to the original game, coming in at 6 to 8 hours. It may actually be bigger than Link to the Past. Now, you're going to want to play the remodeled version of this hack, as it came out much later, fixes bugs, and makes the game generally more accessible. Either way, this is one of the most popular hacks for this system and should be at least tried. Metroid Super Zero Mission takes Super Metroid and turns it into a remake of a remake, actually, as it's a remake of Metroid Zero Mission, which is already a remake of the original Metroid. But don't worry, this isn't just Super Metroid with the original game's map and some ripped tile sets. No, it takes a lot of liberties here, and definitely gives the story a Super Metroid flavoring. A good way to show this is how the hack starts out. You get out of your ship on the surface with the amazing theme of Samus playing in the background as you slowly walk down into Zebes. You take a short fall and boom, you're where it all started. Tanks and upgrades are generally in the same spots as they used to be, but all the upgrades that were new to Super Metroid are going to be in new places, obviously. It's also much longer than the 2 other versions, with you taking several new detours on your way to fight Mother Brain. Kraid is probably 3 hours in here, while in Zero Mission you could get to this spot in 40 minutes. The fight with him here is awesome too. You have to freeze his toe shots in order to reach his head, which sets him apart from the Super Metroid and Zero Mission versions of the fights. But this can be tricky. Yeah, this hack was definitely made for experienced players. Lots of advanced tech is used here. At one point, you have to get through a whole burning room before you get the Varia suit. And there are a lot of grapple hook puzzles. You know, this may be Metroid Super Zero Mission, but, you know what there's a lot more than zero of here? These grapple shot things, yeah. Learn to Kaizo is less a new Mario adventure and more a tool to learn the skills necessary to play Kaizo hacks, a genre of Mario hacks that require an insane amount of skill just to get through a level. Let's try the first level here, the simple jump. This should give you an idea of what this hack's like. Just because Learn to Kaizo is easier than a normal Kaizo ROM hack doesn't mean you're gonna breeze your way through it. I give it a 6 on the painful bullshit scale. There are so many moments here where I'm just like, there's no way I'm getting through that one. This is the end for me. This is the end right here. Then 5 minutes later, you're doing it. The unlimited lives and one mechanic per level approach really gives you the time and patience needed to get each trick. It reels you in like that. Little by little, the game is letting you figure it out one bit at a time. So you do this one and you go, that's not so bad. Well, how about I do this? Then this, then this, then this. All of a sudden you're like, who's playing this game? It's like I'm being possessed by some type of gaming demon. That's the magic of Learn to Kaizo. It pulls you in without you ever noticing, which actually puts it up there with other great Mario World hacks that have little things like stories, worlds, full levels, things that Learn to Kaizo doesn't even need because it's just fun. At least the first few levels until this bullshit test 2 level. This level gets a 12 on my painful bullshit scale.